We're almost finished. In this lecture, we're going to look at an issue that can be easily overlooked. To demonstrate, I'm going to upload a song. After a while, the song is successfully uploaded to Firebase. Even though we're receiving a success message, it doesn't appear on the list. The list does not get updated with the latest uploads. This is a problem. We want the user to be able to edit their songs after they have uploaded them. If I were to refresh the page, the song is added to the list. This is not a problem with Firebase. We need to push the song into the list. That'll be easy to do, but there is one challenge we will need to overcome. Open the Manage and Upload component files in your editor. The Upload component is a child of the Manage component. The Songs array is defined in the Manage component. We need to push the song from the Upload component to the Manage component. This can be done in a variety of ways. The approach we'll take is by using component properties. We'll pass a function from the Manage component to the Upload component. If the upload was a success, we'll call the function. The function will have access to the data properties and methods in the Manage component because it's defined in the parent component. We'll be able to push the song into the array. It's a quick and easy solution. Let's look at how it's done. First, we'll define the function for adding a song. This function needs to be defined in the Manage component. Otherwise, we won't be able to push the song into the Songs array. Inside the Methods object, define a function called addSong. This is a function we'll pass to the Upload component. We can do that by using component properties. Scroll to the template block and search for the App Upload component. A component property can be added by adding a custom property to the component. We're going to create a component property for the addSong function. We'll call the property addSong. You don't have to call it the same name as the function. You can assign it any name you'd like. If we want to set this to the addSong function, we'll need to bind this property to the addSong function. View will pass down the function to the child component if it accepts the property. We'll need to handle that next. Switch to the Upload component file. In the exported object, we can accept the property by adding the props property. This property will be set to an array of properties we can accept. The names must be passed in as a string. We're going to accept the property that was passed down by the parent component. It's called addSong. The addSong function will be accessible via the this keyword. We'll want to call the function when the upload is a success. The logic for the upload is written in the upload function. Towards the end of the function, there's a request made to the song collection. I'm referring to the add function. This function will return a document reference. We'll want to pass the document reference to the Manage component. First, we need to assign the reference to a variable. We'll call it songRef. This variable can be passed to the component with the function we created. Call the addSong function with the songRef variable. By passing the document reference, we'll be able to push its data into the Songs array in the Manage component. The last thing we'll need to do is handle the logic. Go back to the component. In the addSong function, we'll want to create the application data, merge it with the song data, and then push the merged data into the array. We did this already in the created function. We can save ourselves the time of having to rewrite the logic by refactoring the code. We'll move the logic from the created function to the addSong function. Up in the created function, cut everything inside the loop. Next, paste it into the addSong function. This function will break the page for a moment because we're not pushing anything inside the created function. Go back to where we cut the previous code. Instead of passing in an arrow function, we'll replace it entirely with the addSong function. Let's try testing this out. Go back to the browser and refresh the page. The list will render without a problem. We outsourced the code for pushing the songs into the array in a separate function. Let's try uploading a file to see if the song gets pushed. Nothing happens. Why is that? Let's check the developer tools to see what's going on. In the console panel, we'll receive an error. It's stating that the data function is undefined. This is because we're treating a reference as if it were a snapshot. We discussed the differences between references and snapshots. References are objects that provide properties and methods for interacting with the document. Snapshots are read-only objects of the data in the document. To better understand, let's go back to the editor. In the created function, we're calling two functions, where and get. The result of this will be an array of document snapshots. We're looping through the array to pass the document snapshot to the addSong function. Down in the addSong function, it's expecting the object to be a snapshot. Snapshots come with a method called data. This is why the code works as expected. Switch to the upload component file. Right before we call the addSong function, we're storing the document in a variable called songReference. The add function returns a reference, not a snapshot. This reference comes with different methods and properties than a snapshot. There is no data function on the reference. This is why we're getting an error. The addSong function is expecting a snapshot, not a reference. So the question becomes, how do we get a snapshot of the song we uploaded? We can use references to create snapshots by calling the get function. After the song reference variable, we'll create another variable called songSnapshot. It'll be set to the songReference.get function. This will return a promise. We'll add the await keyword before it. The argument we're passing to the addSong function will need to be updated. Replace the songReference variable with the songSnapshot variable. If we did everything right, the upload should appear in the list. Save your changes. In the browser, refresh the page and attempt to upload a file. After a few moments, the green checkmark will appear. This checkmark tells us the upload was a success. The song appears on the list as we wanted. We've successfully taken care of the issue. The user will be able to edit their songs after uploading them. In the next lecture, we will finalize the Manage page with one more feature.